All right, welcome. So we'll get started. If you have a blanket you might want to sit on to take some pressure off the low back. A couple blocks for your practice might come in handy. If you don't have them, that's okay. You don't need them. You can also use a pile of books or a box or something, but don't sweat it if you don't have something. And just to bring to your attention, whether you connect with this or not, you can look at it as a nice excuse. Today is 11/11, and that date tends to be a beautiful time to just connect with new beginnings, connect with your heartfelt desires and what it is you want to bring in. So just allow that to be maybe something for you to take your practice a little deeper with today. Let's take a few moments to settle into the here and now, letting the eyes start to close, shifting your awareness from the outside world to the inside world. And just tuning into the internal landscape, just exploring, noticing what you see without really looking for anything, just see what surfaces. Feel the floor connecting to the legs. Feel the hands resting where they've landed. Feel your physical body in space, where you might even move a little bit, leaning back, and just exploring how your body is showing up in this moment. If you can find a little more length and space between each vertebra, letting the crown of the head float up and the tailbone ground down. And then as we sit and just be, you just become aware without changing anything, just become aware of your breath. Noticing how it's moving today and in this moment. Knowing it will change. That's one thing we can count on. If you'd like to slow things down even more, especially if you're coming from a chaotic morning, you might deepen and lengthen the breath. Especially lengthening the exhale, letting things slow down. Letting the exhale tell the body that all is well in this very moment, right here, right now. And that's all we need to know, right here, right now. Showing up fully to each moment as it unfolds. Connecting with the breath, even allowing the breath to help manage how we're showing up to the moment. By including a deeper, longer, slower exhale. Check in to see if there's any gripping, whether that be in the mind, the heart, or the physical body. You might even notice as you become aware of it, it may dissipate. Bring your awareness to your heart center, right in the middle of the chest. Just feel the energy there. And see a light forming right in the middle of the chest. Your inner flame, your spark, your truth, the best and brightest version of you. And now just imagine either a little door or a window or a zipper, opening up just a little piece of the front of the heart chest to let the light shine out as well. And it shines forward, starts to fill up your space. And that light continues to shine out, not just around you, but beyond your space. intentionally sending your light out into the world. You might even choose to see the whole earth enveloped in your light. The light of love, the light of peace, the light of unity. You bring your palms together in front of heart center. And take a cleansing breath together, uniting as one with big inhale, big audible exhale. Send your fingertips to the sky with a big breath in. Let the hands come apart, let the arms be a little diagonal to create more like a funnel. And just receive the light from out in the universe. Take it in. We're not just here to give, we're here to receive. Take a nice big breath in, big breath out. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. And then gently float the hands down to the earth. Let there be more length in the spine. And as you find that length, just gently tuck the chin, creating length in the back of the neck. Crown of the head reaches up as the chin tucks in. Nice full inhale and exhale. Gently rolling right ear to right shoulder. And exhaling chin to chest. Inhaling left ear to left shoulder. And exhaling chin to chest. Let's go through a few more rounds. Let the shoulders be relaxed by bending the elbows slightly. And of course, find any organic movement that calls to you. Think of your practice, perhaps, like every time you move a joint or you stimulate a muscle, you're bringing that light in that area. And every time you find that mindful breath out, you're sharing some of that light with others, the community, our families. Next time your chin is at your chest, just inhale the head up to neutral. As you arrive, roll the shoulders up and back and melt them down. Sweep the arms through the sky, big breath in. As you breathe out, we'll take the hands down, let the heart shine forward as you hinge forward just a bit from the hips. Then you might walk the hands further out. You might even find a little sway from side to side. Slowly letting yourself melt in. Don't worry about going as deep as possible. Just go to wherever you go and breathe and be. You might connect with your heart center in the back. A few breaths into the back of the heart. Begin to ground your hands. Pull the tummy in, slowly lift up. As you arrive, roll shoulders back. And then we inhale and float those arms all the way up. Big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to take the hands back down, clasp them behind you, bend the elbows. Take the palms towards each other, take the elbows towards each other, the shoulder blades towards each other, open the heart, and then maybe the knuckles start to go down. But do keep the shoulder blades squeezing together. Lift it, open the heart. You might lift the chin a bit. Take a nice full breath in and out. Inhale, release the hands, float them up to the sky. Palms together, exhale, hands to heart center. Bow in. Take a moment now to just ask yourself, what is it that your heart mostly desires? You might even dig a little deeper. Whatever speaks to you. Hold that in your heart as we breathe out and share it with others. Big inhale, send the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, right arm floats down. Reach up through the left fingertips and over. Ground through that left hip. Either stay there or take the top hand and bring it to the back of the head, bending that elbow, and look past the left elbow. Big breath into that left armpit. And inhale, float the fingertips up, then exhale, take it back down. Take a breath in with me, and a breath out. Big breath in, right arm lifts. Exhale, or take it on over. Either stay there or bend the elbow, look past the elbow, opening up that whole right side body. And then inhale, floating fingertips to the sky. Exhale, come back through center. Reconnect to the sitting bones on the earth, fingertips on the earth. Big inhale, big exhale. Go ahead and crisscross the legs in the opposite direction. Sounds like we've got some lawnmower people outside, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Sorry if it's distracting. Once you crisscross the legs in the opposite direction, we'll move through a little cat-cow, just lubricating that spine, bringing movement in. Inhale, let the heart open, shoulder blades squeeze together. Chin might even lift. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Pull the heart to the back wall. Move through the next few, really connecting to your heart center. Every time we bring it forward, it shines out like a headlamp. And every time we bring it towards the back, round in, it spreads throughout our body, all the goodness, all the love. Move through 2 or 3 more rounds. At your own pace, your own rhythm. And then we inhale to a neutral spine. Arrive whenever you do and roll the shoulders on arrival. And we'll sweep the arms out and up. Big breath in. As you breathe out, take the left arm, reach it forward, right arm, reach it back. Reach the arms in 2 different directions. Open the heart over to the right. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Come back through center. Exhale, other side, right arm forward, left arm reaches back behind you. Pick up some space. And then inhale, reach up, come back through center. Exhale, release the hands down in front. Roll the shoulders back, find length in the torso. Heart shines forward. Feel free to stay just like this or walk the hands forward, a little rock and roll if that calls to you. And melt in. Be with your breath, be with your body, here and now. Full inhales, full exhales. Beginning to root the hands down, low tummy pulls in, start to lift yourself up. Roll the shoulders when you arrive. Stick the hands behind you, release the legs nice and wide. We'll just windshield wiper them, move some of those hip joints. And let's let the knees float down to the right. Take your left hand, swing it around, look behind you, press that hip forward over to the side. And then left arm comes forward. We swing around through center over to the other side and look behind you. Press that right hip forward. And then release yourself back through center. And we'll take the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Go ahead and bring the heels in as close as they'll go without rounding the low back. So you might be sitting on a blanket here, that can help. Hands to the knees or the ankles or the shins. Roll the shoulders back, find length in the torso, send the heart forward, shoulder blades squeeze together, and try to release the legs to gravity. Feel free to stay just like this, or if you'd rather hinge forward, feel free to do that. You can always put a little something underneath the legs if it's a little too intense. I like a little support for my hips. Just be with your breath. Notice what you notice. Come home to yourself. The mind is wandering. Do your best to just bring it back into the present moment through breath and body. Full inhale, full exhale. Releasing jaw and forehead, fingers and toes, soften. As you feel ready, pull the tummy in, slowly lift the heart up and the head up. And then you'll take your hands to your knees and bring them together. And extend your legs straight out in front. Flex your feet. Pull the flesh out from underneath. Lengthen up through center. We find Dandasana. Really press energy out the heels, but ground the heels down. A lot of times they hyperextend up. Ground them down so you have a little bend in the knees maybe. And then press down through the arms to find more length in the torso. Tuck the chin slightly and bring the ears back a bit. Notice if the ribs are poking out, wrap them in. Pull everything to center. Big inhale, big exhale. Feel the stability when you come home to yourself in center. Extend the left leg, cross the ankle over the thigh. Take the hands behind you gently and bend that knee just a little bit. If you're sitting on something, you might scooch it away. You're going to inhale, lift the hips just a little bit, like an inch. Send them back like an inch and place them back down and just let the pelvis roll forward. Either stay here, or if you want to deepen, bring that right foot in even closer. Just keep out of a rounded low back. So we want to keep the spine long and tall. Lift the heart. Shoulder blades might squeeze together a bit. Be sure your left foot is flexed to keep everything safe and happy. If this is too intense, just straighten that bottom leg a little bit more. And if you want to make it more intense, just bring it in a little closer. But again, make sure you're not rounding in the spine. Keep that heart lifting up and over the shin. Take a nice full breath in, full breath out. Beautiful. Big inhale, big exhale. And take the right heel towards the left hip. Drop that right knee down. Let the left foot melt to the floor. And then check in, are both sitting bones on the ground? If not, kind of pull some flesh out, scooch yourself around. I can make up words here. And once you get both sitting bones on the ground, if that left foot doesn't stay to the floor, it's okay if it hovers. I'd rather both sitting bones be on the ground so there's stability in the hips and the spine. Lengthen up through the spine, right hand sweeps around that left knee. Left arm's going to take it up to the sky, open the heart, and find a deeper twist. Place your hand to the floor, pull the knee across the midline, relax your shoulders. Heart starts to open over to the left. Let's take a few breaths. As you breathe in, feel that breath coming in through the nostrils, going all the way down the spine. And as you breathe out, just find a little more depth in your twist. Maybe tuning into the light in your heart, shining over to the left. Feel free to extend that light to your neighbors over to the left and beyond. Another full inhale, full exhale. As you breathe in, find length in the torso. As you breathe out, slowly unwind back through center. As you unwind, we'll take that top leg out to the side straight, and that bottom bent knee, just bring it around so the heel is in line with your heart. Lengthen up through the spine. If you want to sit on something here, feel free. Make sure your left foot is flexed. Hands behind you, lift and lengthen. And just let this beautiful light come out your heart center. Let it fly out the crown of your head as well. And either stay there or start to hinge forward. Or bring the hands forward and melt in. Melting in does not mean collapsing. So do try to find length of the torso. Crown of the head is continuing to reach forward as the tailbone is reaching back. Breath is strong and fluid. You might drop in a little deeper after taking a few mindful breaths. Perhaps tucking the chin a little bit, notice the length in the back of the neck that creates. Full inhale, full exhale. And then gently rooting down, low tummy pulls in, slowly bring yourself up. Roll the shoulders as you arrive. Lean back, let's get those legs back in front for Dandasana, pulling everything back through center. Finding your strength, stability, and your center. Big inhale, big exhale. Right leg bends, and we cross that ankle over the thigh. Either stay there or start to bend the left knee. Place your hands behind you, lift the hips a little bit, send them back a teeny weeny bit, and place them back down and just let the pelvis roll forward. And then you choose, either stay there, make sure the spine is nice and long and tall. Flex that right foot. Soften jaw or forehead or whatever you notice in your body. I can use a little letting go. And that left foot can go further away or come in closer. Nice full breath. Go ahead and let the left heel come around to that right hip as the right foot melts to the floor. And as you do that, did that right hip leave the ground? Can you plug both sitting bones into the floor first and foremost, and then allow the legs to take shape? Let's flip that left hand around the knee, right arm reaches up, big breath in. And we spiral around, take the hand all the way down to the ground. Pull the knee across the midline, open the heart over to the right. Tune into your heart center, let that light shine bright. Maybe with the intention of your neighbors to the right, and beyond. Another full breath here. On your next inhale, use the right arm to reach behind you and up towards the ceiling, coming back around through center. And as you arrive, that top leg can unwind, and we take it off to the side. Keep the bottom leg bent with the heel coming in line with your heart. Flex your right foot, hands behind you. Shoulder blades squeeze together, heart lifts, crown of the head floats up. Nice full breath. Either hinge forward or take the hands forward. Let yourself just melt in. Walking hands forward if you decide to drop in deeper. Or drop in deeper, staying right where you are. Full breaths in and out. Release. Root the hands down. Slowly come up and out. Roll shoulders, moving around. Keep the hands behind you. Let's release the legs. Feet to the floor, knees bent. Little windshield wiper. We'll make our way around to tabletop. Excuse me. Just moving your stuff out of the way or patting the knees if you'd like. Once you get to tabletop, just wiggle yourself around a bit. Get yourself settled. Maybe a little cat-cow calls to you. Moving down through the fingertips. And then let yourself settle in. Come to center. Pull up behind the heart and the belly button just a tad. As you inhale, we'll extend the right leg behind you and the left fingertips forward. Toes can be on the ground and the fingers can be on the ground, or you can lift them, one or both. And then we're going to float back down. Pretend like you have a tray of crystal on your back, so you don't want to wobble too much. You want to find your stability. Inhale, left leg, right arm extends. Either lifted or just here. And then exhale, lower down. We'll keep going with this. Try to find that stability. Move with your breath. Every inhale lifts your limbs. Every exhale lowers. So let the breath be slow. Core engaged. Use your drishti. Soften the jaw. Next time your right leg is lifted and left arm, stay there. Press the earth away. Pull the tummy in. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then gently release. And left leg lifts, right arm lifts. 2 full breaths, sending beautiful energy out with lifted limbs. And release. Walk the hands forward a little bit. Shoulders over wrists. You're going to send the hips over to the left and back, and to the right, little hip circles. Make sure there's a little space between your knees. Feel free to bend into the elbows a little bit. And let those circles be big or small. Maybe play with both. And then pause, and I go in the other direction. Next time the shoulders are over the wrists, pause there. Pull the shoulders back, pull the tummy in, press up behind the heart, and then slowly lower yourself down to the earth. Inhale, baby cobra, just the head and the heart and the shoulders. Roll up. Exhale, release. Inhale, baby cobra. Ground through the feet and the hips. And exhale, release. And this time, inhale, baby cobra. Flip the hands off of the floor, maybe just an inch. Squeeze elbows in by the ribs, shoulders back, crown of the head forward as you tuck the chin gently. Another breath. And then gently release. Press through the fingertips, curl the toes. Don't think too much about it. Press up into plank. Taking another breath in your plank. Gently, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let yourself settle in here. Really press through the fingertips, send the hips back. Let there be space around the shoulders, around the neck with the shoulders back. Tuck the chin gently. Take a nice full breath. Inhale forward into plank. Our exhale will lower the knees wide, press back, child's pose. Nice full breath in your child's pose. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Another round like that. Inhale, plank. Knees can be down as well. We're all going to put our knees down and press back into child's pose for 3 breaths. Inhale forward into plank, knees down or up. Squeeze to the center line, press the earth away. And then send the hips up and back. One more time, down dog. So of course, we'll have a few more down dogs. Press through the fingertips, hips reach back. Another breath. Extend your left leg behind you. Really press energy out the heel. Step it forward. Help it forward if it needs it. As you find your low lunge, squeeze inner thighs together, ground through the legs. Root down through the right hand, left hand to the left hip. Pull that hip back a little bit. And then start to spiral from heart center over to the right. Shoulder on top of shoulder. And then maybe that hand goes up, but keep that right hip pulling back. I'm sorry, the left hip pulling back. And then release the left hand down. Back through center, lengthen the spine. Step that right foot forward, forward fold. Nice full breath in and out. Stay right where you are. Maybe you release the hands a little bit. Maybe you tuck their chin a tad. Another breath. Ground through your feet. Fire up your inner thighs and your glutes. Core strength, come up halfway, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend in the knees, reverse swan dive. Take up space, let the heart shine. Reach up towards the sky, look up towards the sky. Hands to the heart. Feet grounded, crown of the head lifted, big breath in. Big breath out. Sweep the arms to the sky. And we come through center, forward fold. Sit back with the right leg. Drop that back knee to the floor. Uncurl the toes. Squeeze and lift. Either the hands come to the inner, the left knee or thigh, or we float them all the way up. Shoulders out of the ears, tummy pulling in. Take another breath. Cactus arms, squeeze shoulder blades together, open the heart just a bit more. Gaze goes up perhaps. And then inhale, send those fingertips straight up. Exhale, hands down to the earth. We're going to pull the hips back, half splits. Nice place to use blocks here. Left leg starts to straighten. Left toes come up off the ground. Really press down through the left heel and then pull it back towards you. Really squaring off the hips. And melt in. Take a few breaths. You don't have to go as deep as possible. Think about the heart reaching forward, the crown of the head reaching forward. Inhale, find some length. We're all going to take the big toe towards the right, turning the whole leg from the hip. We're not just turning from the ankle, turn the whole leg from the hip, pointing in a bit, and then slowly, gently drop in. Just getting to another spot of the hamstring. Another breath. Lengthen up through the spine, spiral that left foot out to the left. Pinky edge comes closer to the mat. Make sure you're opening from the hip, not just the ankle. Lengthen through the spine and then start to melt in. Maybe notice new sensation, notice breath. Lengthen up through the spine, bring that foot back through center. And then bend the knee, place the foot to the floor. Hands down, curl back toe, lift the back knee. Ground down, find your plank. Or you've got a vinyasa if you want it, or press right back into down dog or child's pose for a few breaths. When you find your way into down dog, extend the right leg behind you. Step it all the way forward, help it forward if it needs. Pull that right hip back, lengthen the spine. Root through the feet, inner thighs pulling together. Left hand grounds down, right hand to the hip. Pull that right hip back. Maybe keep your hand there and start to rotate the heart open to your right. And maybe that right arm floats up, but keep that right hip pulling back. Good, another breath. So release the right hand to the floor, spiral fully around to center. Left leg steps forward, forward fold. Nice releasing breath in and out, ground through the feet. Inhale halfway, use your core to lift you as well as your glutes. Exhale, forward fold. And reverse swan dive all the way up. Hands to the heart. Ground through your right leg, lift your left knee. And then release that leg down. Get a little bend in your standing leg. So it's almost like a mini chair. And then lift the right knee. Good. We're going to do that again. Bend the standing leg. Place the other foot down. It's a mini chair. And then lift the other knee. Good. And back down. It's like a yogi march. And lift the right knee. Good. One more each side. Nice and mindful, sturdy, steady, connected. Good. And then right knee lifts. And we come down to our mini chair. And let's send the fingertips out and deepen the chair. Sit down a little deeper. Put your weight into your heels. Root down through the ball joints of the feet. You might even lift all 10 toes. Open the heart a little more. Let's send those fingertips back. Squeeze shoulder blades together like you're about to take off. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Big breath in. Might look towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold. Ground through the hands. Step back with the left leg. We'll melt that back knee down. Ground down, squeeze those inner thighs. Hands float up either to the front knee or all the way up. See if you can pull the tummy in, drop in a little deeper without collapsing. Cactus arms. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, hands down around that front foot. And we start to straighten the front leg out, pull the hips back. Right toes start to lift. Lengthen through the spine. Ground down through the right heel and pull it back, pulling that right hip back a little bit more. And then melt in. Breathe, breathe. Connect. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Let's let the big toes start to fall in. Move from the hip, not from the ankle. The whole leg rotates in. And then we start to hinge forward. Maybe not as deep. Might be a little intense. Might not be. Notice what your experience is. And then inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Bring that leg back through center. And then open it up to the outside. Pinky edge of the foot. Start to melt towards the mat a little more. And then melt in. Soften the jaw and the face. It's full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, lengthen up, bring that leg back through center. Bend the front knee, place the feet flat to the floor. Hands to the earth. Bend that back knee lifts, and we step it back into plank. Moving through your vinyasa, your way. As you arrive in down dog, extend your left leg behind you. Step it all the way forward, help it forward if it needs it. Find your grounding, root down, rise up for your high lunge. With a nice breath in, reach the fingertips to the sky, squeeze thighs together, lift that back heel, both legs straighten. And then exhale, hands into fists, elbows by your side, bend both knees. Inhale, squeeze, lift, receive that beautiful energy from the universe. Exhale, pull it into the body, bend the knees, bend the elbows, open the heart. 2 more times, squeeze and lift. If balance is tricky, take your feet wider and then take it in. That back knee doesn't need to bend a lot, it can bend just a little. And then one last one, inhale, squeeze and lift. Take it in. Okay. And then start to hinge forward, straighten the back leg, left knee stays bent. Hinge forward, another breath. And then release your hands down to the ground. We're going to root down through the hands. We're going to take that left foot to the right thigh. It's like figure 4. Press back into down dog on the right leg. The left heel, left ankle is in front of the right thigh. Got figure 4. Hips are pressing back. Nice full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Begin to take that left knee to the left elbow, shift forward into plank, and then we step it back, down dog, both feet on the earth. We'll take a few breaths, either down dog or vinyasa or child's pose is a nice place to reconnect. Wherever you are, take full breaths in and out. Once you find your way back into down dog, extend the right leg behind you. Step it all the way forward. Ground down, find your foundation, and then float up. High lunge. Your next breath in, reach the fingertips to the sky, straighten both legs, lift that back heel. And then elbows in by your ribs. Palms close, bend both knees. Inhale, stretch and straighten, reach it up. Exhale, bend and pull in. 2 more. Inhale, stretch and straighten. Exhale, bend and pull in. Nice mindful movement. It's not a race. And then take it in. And pull in. Stay here. Really feel the strength. Keep that right knee bent. We'll start to hinge forward, straighten the left leg. Feel that right glute. Fire up. Release the hands down to the ground. I'm going to take that right leg, take the ankle, cross it over in front of the left thigh, and press back into down dog, figure 4. Another breath. Right knee to right elbow, shifting shoulders over wrists, and then step it back, down dog. Vinyasa or no vinyasa. To honor your body. Opening the heart, shoulders out of the ears. If you're moving through your Cobra or up dog. Take a nice full breath in and a full breath out. Please extend your left leg behind you. Bend the left knee, stack left hip over right, letting the left foot come towards your right glute. Square the shoulders towards the earth. Another breath. Go ahead and reach the left foot straight up towards the ceiling. And then mindfully square your hips. Step that left leg forward. And we drop the back heel down. Cartwheel up, warrior two. Take time to settle in here. Settle in physically, and then settle in energetically. Really feel the connection of the feet to the earth, the legs strong and stable. And then feel the energy of your heart shining up and out the head, out the fingertips, and out the heart center, front and back. And ground into ourselves. We can tune into that spark, that divinity. One more breath. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, straighten the front leg. Turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of the mat. We swan dive, wide leg forward fold. Let the feet be parallel, the outer edges of the feet are parallel. And gently drop the head. Take a few breaths, releasing the upper body. Make sure there's a little bend in the knees. Do not lock your knees. Nice full inhale, full exhale. Inhale, come up halfway. And then as you exhale, start to walk your hands over to the front edge of the mat. All 10 toes follow, and we're in low lunge. Root down, rise up, high lunge. Right arm comes forward, left arm back, nice high twist. Feel free to stay there or backhand to the back thigh, right arm lifts, and we go in a little deeper, maybe. Nice full inhale, full exhale, opening up the right side of the heart. Cartwheel it all the way down. Step it back. Move in the way that feels good. As you make your way into your down dog, extend your right leg behind you. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Right heel comes towards left glute. Square the shoulders to the earth. Toes to the sky, square your hips. Step that right leg all the way forward. Back heel draws down, warrior two legs. Keep that front knee bent as you fly up, warrior two. Settle in. A posture we've all been in several times. Can you show up like it's the first? Ground through the feet. Stabilize the legs. Heart shining in all directions. Upper body light and lifted. Maybe even a smile comes to your face. Nice full inhale, full exhale. Start to float the fingertips up, straighten that front leg, all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. And we swan dive forward, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, melt down. You might take the hands to the ankles or even to the back edge of the mat behind you. Drop in a little deeper. Bring the hands under your shoulders. Bend the knees just a little bit. Inhale, lengthen out the spine. Arms are straight here. Either stay like this or float the arms out wide. Pull up behind the heart and the belly button. Another breath. And then exhale, release back down to the floor. Tailbone lifts. head releases. Inhale, start to lengthen up through the spine. As you exhale, walk the fingers towards the front edge of the mat, all 10 toes follow. Ground through the legs, float all the way up into high lunge. And then left arm goes forward, right arm goes back, and we find our twist. Either stay there or let that back hand come to the back thigh and top front arm reach up. Open up the left side of the heart. And mindfully cartwheel down. Step back. You do you, your vinyasa, your way. Excuse me. Upon arrival, we'll look to the front of the mat, walk or flip the feet forward, coming to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, sit into chair. Let the arms float behind you, open the heart, squeeze shoulder blades together. Another breath. Root through the left leg. We're going to sweep the arms forward and up as we lift the right knee to the chest, standing. And take it back down. Bend the standing leg, feet meet to the earth, arms go back, chair. I'm going to call this flying chair. Root down through the right leg, sweep the arms forward, lift the left knee. And then place it back down, nice and stable, flying chair. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bend the knees, let the belly rest on the thighs. You might take the hands behind the ankles. Take the forearms, wrap them behind the calves. Tuck the chin, bring it as close to the legs as possible. And then straighten the legs, keep the belly and chest on the thighs. Nice full breath in, full breath out. Ground through the feet, inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with the right leg. Excuse me, take your hands forward and lengthen the torso. Ground through the fingertips in that left foot. We're going to slide the right leg forward and lift it up. Standing L, great place for your blocks here. Either stay here or start to bring one hand to the ankle. Maybe both hands to the ankle, maybe no hands to the ankle. Another breath. If your hands are on the ankle, release them to the floor or blocks. And we drop that right foot all the way behind you, low lunge again. Walk the hands or blocks all the way back and straighten your left leg. Let the right heel melt down. Left toes might prop up. Squeeze the inner thighs together, lengthen the spine, drop in. Nice full breath here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, ground your left foot, bend the left knee. Move your blocks, hands to the earth, step it back, plank. We're going to roll the heels over to the left. You can stack the feet, put one in front of the other, or bend the top leg. And we come into our version, your version of side angle. Good. Side plank, sorry, did I say side angle? One more breath. Press down, lift those hips. Beautiful. Release the right hand down. Let yourself come back to plank. Vinyasa, no vinyasa, child's pose. When you find your way into your down dog, take a nice cleansing breath. And then look forward, walk or float the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale up halfway, exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive all the way up, hands to the heart. Take a moment here, feel yourself connect to the here and the now. Feet on the earth, breath, heart. Sweep the arms to the sky, big breath in. Exhale through center, breath out. Sit back with the left leg, low lunge. Ground, walk the fingertips forward. Then start to slide that left leg forward and up. Standing L. Square the hips, flex that left foot. Either stay here or start to drop the head and heart and take one hand to the right ankle. Maybe both hands to the right ankle. Good. Another breath. If you have your hands on your ankles, inhale and release your hands to the floor of the blocks. Let's walk that left foot back and down into your lunge. Start to straighten the right leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Left heel starts to melt down. You might need to bring it forward a little bit. Right toes and ball of the right foot might come up. Pull that right hip back, melt the head and heart to the ground, to the knee, not all the way to the ground, towards the knee. Nice full breath here. And then lengthen through the spine. Ground that right foot, bend the right knee. Place your hands down, step all the way back to plank. And then we'll take the heels over to the right for your side plank variation. Lift the hips a little more. Another breath. Slowly, gently releasing. Vinyasa, we will all meet in child's pose. Really connect to nice full breath in and out. See if the heart can melt towards the earth. You can always rest the head on a block or a blanket to lift it so it's not so much of an incline. Inhale, lift yourself back into tabletop. Curl the toes under, make your way up into down dog. Extend your left leg behind you. We'll bring that left knee behind the left wrist. We're coming into pigeon. So give yourself the props that you need to keep your pelvis neutral. I use lots of props in my pigeon because my body doesn't love this posture. But with the use of props, a little something under each hip. I put something under my right thigh and under my left glute. You may need only one. So if you're falling into one side or the other, put a prop there. Cushion up a blanket. And then let yourself melt in. You might come to forearms. You might rest your head on something. You might reach your fingertips forward even more. Take a couple good breaths. See if you can embody a little more surrender. You often go to a place of struggle to try to change things, try to control things. And we just surrender a bit and let go. These full breaths. Let go of the jaw, back teeth, the glutes. Let it all go. Begin to root your hands down. Slowly lift your torso up. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other to lift the pelvis. Tune in there. Let the heart shine forward, the crown float up. Nice full breath. You might even take the hands and float them in front of heart center. I won't be doing that today. My hip won't allow that. Take a nice full breath wherever you are. And release the hands flat to the earth if they're not. Curl the back toe. And send those hips up and back for any movement in your body that'll feel good. Stretch it out, wiggle it out. And we extend the right leg behind. Take that right knee behind the right wrist, coming into pigeon on the other side. Move your support. Give yourself what you need. Make sure you're not flopping to one side or the other. If you feel like one hip is falling to the floor, prop it up. We want the hip points even and squared as best as possible. So squeezing inner thighs towards each other can help. And then once you feel like you have found your center, you might come down to forearms. You might support your head with a block or a blanket. You might even reach the fingertips forward. Nice full breath here. Begin to root your hands down, lift your torso up, squeeze those inner thighs together, get a little action. We're not dumping down, we're lifting in and up. You might come to fingertips, you might lift the hands to heart center. Nice full breath in your strength, your power. And then curl the back toes under. Flatten out those hands. Send that right leg all the way back. Down dog. Walk it out. Vinyasa it out. It'll be your last one. Take what you need. Nice full inhale, full exhale. And when you feel ready, we'll walk the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Find lots of length in the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, walk your hands forward. Bend the knees, walk the hands forward, and bend all the way down into yogi squat. So not malasana. I'm coming towards you. Try to keep the knees in line. You might be up high, and that's fine. Your heels might lift up off the ground, and that's okay too. Lift the heart. If you can, where you are, start to walk your hands forward and lift the heart. Squeeze the inner thighs, pull the pelvic floor in and up, and then maybe bring your hands to heart center, whether you're balancing on your feet or your heels are down. Another breath. Beautiful. Let's release the hands and very gently, wow, asana. Yeah, I love that you all know what that means. Go ahead and release the hands forward, lower down one vertebra at a time. You might bring a block with you if you have one handy. When you get to the floor, just take a moment to enjoy it. Find your belly breath. Take the feet as wide as your mat. We do a little windshield wiper. So I'll leave this up to you. You can take the arms up and over the head, clasping elbows, and let the knees drop down to the right. If this feels okay, you will not have any pinching in your low back. If you do, then please come out of it. You can also deepen this by taking the right ankle over the left knee and dropping in deeper. The other option is to bring those knees up to the chest and roll into your more traditional twist, stacking the knees and the legs and the arms coming out from the shoulders. Wherever you want to be, just be there fully and breathe. Nice big inhale, big exhale. Another breath here. And start to engage core. Begin to lift the knees back through center. So if you are in the windshield wiper, you might go back and forth in windshield wiper. If your knees are at your chest, roll back and forth a little. And then we'll let the knees go over to the other side. Same thing, your feet are wide, let the knees fall over to the left. You might choose to stack left ankle on top of right knee, go in deeper. You might just come into your twist, your version of your twist. Just connect with your breath, really connecting to the exhalation. Just full breath in, full breath out. Let's fire up the core, bring those knees back through center, a little rock and roll or windshield wiper. And wherever you are, let's place the feet hip distance on the floor. Take a nice big inhale to the belly, big exhale. If you have a block, you'll grab that block, lift your hips, place the block on the lowest setting underneath your sacrum. If you do not have a block, you might place a blanket, rolled up blanket, or a pillow under your sacrum, or nothing. It's fine to do this with nothing as well. And once you arrive, either stay there if that feels good, or float the knees above the hips. As long as that doesn't feel like a lot of work, you can stay there or float the feet up above the hips. We're looking for ease, so as little work as possible. If your core or hamstrings are working, then maybe downsize, knees over hips or feet on the floor. Just take a few good breaths. Let the palms face up. Take a few moments just connecting to your breath, your heart center. Feel free to stay like this a little longer if you'd like, or mindfully take your feet to the floor. So you lift the hips, move the block aside, lower down mindfully, one vertebra at a time, using core strength to lower down with stability. Once the hips have landed, please take a nice cleansing breath before bringing the knees into your chest. Nice full inhale, full exhale. That helps to neutralize the spine. And if you'd like to bring the knees in, give yourself a nice tight hug, a squeeze. Take a moment to be grateful for anything. Feel it in your heart, not just in your mind. And when you feel ready, release everything to the earth for Shavasana. Just coming into your final resting posture. Give yourself props if you need them or want them. And just allow simplicity, by being with your breath, letting the body be supported. Let go. Drop it. Feel yourself floating on a cloud of your practice, the good energy that is all around you and within you. You need to connect with it. You need to choose it. Please don't change anything. Just bring awareness in. Notice your body and your breath as it is. Bring your awareness to your heart center right in the middle of your chest. See every breath feeding that flame. See it expand, growing brighter and bigger. You start to see it fill your whole body and eventually seeping out your pores. You see yourself laying there, covered from head to toe in this beautiful light. Reminding yourself, you are the light, you are the love, you are the peace. You are what you want to see in the world. Allow yourself to bring that into the physical body by starting to invite some movement. As you invite your organic movement, wiggling fingers and toes, eventually finding a nice big stretch. Just breathe in your practice and let yourself roll over to one side. Take a moment there, feeling the connection with the earth. And gently pressing yourself all the way up and bringing all this with you. Staying connected. Remembering, just because you sat up, you haven't lost that light. It's still there. And the more you can tune into that light and see it shining outside of you from within, the more we get to experience that beauty here on earth. And lengthen the spine. Please take your hands together at heart center. We'll close with a cleansing breath. As you inhale, we're uniting as one. And as we exhale, we're sharing that with the rest of the world. Let's do it one more time together. Big breath in. Big breath out. And bow down. The beauty that lives within you, lives within me, lives within all of us. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks, Nicki. You have a good day.